Hi guys! Derp. I dented the book. Hi guys, it's Katie. So today we are going to be discussing Papertowns by John Green. So I'm going to be talking about the book as well as the film that I recently saw. So let's just start by discussing the book. So this is going to contain some spoilers, so if you haven't read it, bye girl. Leave now. Exit. Bye. You can't know. You're not allowed to spoil yourself. Anyway, so John Green never fails to disappoint me. These, I've only read, this is only the second book of his I've read, but they've just been amazing. Everything in this book is just so, amazing. It's so quotable. It's so, relatable. It's just, gosh, it's so amazing. I wish I read this when I was in my senior year of high school, because it just would have been so fun. When was this even published? Did I graduate before that? Oh, yeah, this was published in 2008, so yeah, I could have read this before I graduated, but, it was just a fun summer read. It had some, thicker content in it, though, but, basically, if you don't know what this book is about, which you should if you're watching this video, but anyway, I'm going to tell you, this book just follows a high school senior. His name is Quentin, Q, and he's just kind of, a play-it-safe kind of dude. He just doesn't want to, he's not very big on, breaking the rules. He got straight A's, perfect attendance, he's going to go to college to be a doctor and everything. He has all these, big goals that most people have in life. And then there's Margot, who is the girl that lives across the street from him. They used to be best friends when they're kids, and he is in love with this girl. It's almost creepy. He's in love with someone he doesn't really even know anymore, I guess. And she just has a totally different life. She takes risks, she runs away a lot, she just hangs out with the popular crowd, I guess. And they're just two very different people, and the book just centers around him and Margot and their relationship, I guess. And he basically it starts out with him just it starts out with an introduction of what's going on and everything, and there's this whole situation with when they were younger they found this dead guy, and then this dead guy actually is kind of just a symbolic thing that just keeps reappearing throughout the book. And but yeah, so there's one night when Margot just breaks into Quentin's room, and she's just hey, I need to borrow your car, and he's what? And so they end up going on this big adventure, because she finds out that her boyfriend's been cheating on her, and just everyone she thought was a friend basically backstabbed her. So this whole book just kind of follows that situation. The beginning of it just kind of follows that, and you can tell Q's a little about the whole thing, but he goes along with it anyway, because this girl he hasn't talked to in years that he's madly in love with just comes barging into his room, and he's just hey, whatever. So they end up going on all these things, getting revenge on all of her friends and her ex-boyfriend. And then there's just this moment where they're in this building, and she just says all these gorgeous words, and she's just oh, it's a paper town, paper people, I don't know, just everything she talks about, the way Margot just speaks, I think it's just very beautiful, and it's just eye-opening kind of about the way you're living life. This whole book is just it makes you really think about how you see the world and how you see life and everything, and I think that it's really good. So anyway, after this whole crazy night, and he's out till 6 in the morning with her, he goes to school, and he expects things to be kind of different, because this girl just decides, hey, I'm gonna talk to you again. So he thinks that but then he goes to school, and he doesn't see her for days, and they find out that she just kind of runs away again, and she does this and leaves clues behind and stuff. And her parents are the meanest people I've ever met. They're just oh, whatever, she's 18, bye, I don't care. They're sick of it, and I kind of feel bad for her, because they're horrible people. But anyway, Q ends up figuring out that it should be his, like, duty, I guess, to go and find her. So he just kind of spends the rest of the book trying to find, like, clues and stuff, and it takes a while, but he eventually does figure out a location for her. And I just really love the fact that she, like, went to Papertown. Like, I actually learned a lot. Like, I didn't know Papertowns were a thing, because they're apparently just, like, they're, like, a fake city on a map that, like, people made for copyright reasons and stuff. And I just found that really interesting. And, yeah, so he, like, sets out on this giant journey. They, like, ditch graduation, and they just set out on this journey to go to, like, to go to New York to go find this girl, see if she's, like, there or not. And, like, the whole just road trip thing was just so epic. This book is just so funny. Like, there's some moments that are just, like, hilarious. The whole car ride with Ben just having to pee in, like, cans, like, ew. But I just found it so funny that they just ditch graduation in their robes, go road tripping, whatever. And it's so great. There's so many, like, just funny moments and funny quotes. And it's just really, it's a really good book. And, at the end, though, like, I like Margot to an extent. Like, I like the way she speaks and sees things, but I think she's kind of just, like, not that good of a person. Because near the end, Q goes all this way to find her, and he finally finds her, and she just gets into this giant fight with him. She's like, I didn't want you to find me, I didn't want you here, blah, blah, blah. Like, girl, why'd you leave all the notes and stuff? Like, I don't even understand. But, like, but the ending of this book, I was not very satisfied at all. I just feel like it just kind of ended. Like, I'm so sad because he didn't get the girl, but I mean, whatever, I guess, you know, I mean, it's not a traditional ending, but I kind of like that it's not, like, so traditional that, like, oh, he gets the girl, they fall in love, yay, butterflies. No, I mean, it's very real, and I like that about John Green's books. I like that he's very just kind of real with his books, and this book just kind of makes you, like, think about life more, because, like, Quentin's over here just like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this, and by the time I'm 30, I'll have a job, I'll have a family, and yeah. And then Margot's just like, so when you're 30, you're gonna be happy. Like, it really makes you think about, like, the way you're living. Like, a lot of people live in the past, they live in the future. I, myself, am kind of, like, always living in the future. I'm like, what's gonna happen next? I want this to happen, I hate my life, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you really need to just kind of look at life as it is and just take everything in the moment. And I think Margot really kind of helped Q understand that, you know, he needs to stop being so, like, tight. He needs to stop being so, like, he needs to stop being so careful, and he just needs to, like, start living his life while he's young, while you have time to be young, like, be young. But yeah, I think this was a really fun book, and I would definitely recommend it. It's really just, it's a really fun, cute read, and it was just very light and it's very serious. Like, I expected it to be kind of like a cheesy little love story, but it, like, totally took a different turn, and it was a really good book. So now I'm going to move on to the film. So I saw the film Friday when it came out with some friends, and I mean, overall the film was good. I really liked the book, I really liked the movie, but of course there's always problems with movies and book adaptations. There was just so many things that, like, didn't follow the book, and it kind of, they were probably very minuscule, but as a reader they annoy me. But like, I didn't like the fact that, like, Angela went on the road trip with them. Like, what was that about? And then, like, there was a whole thing, they just kind of left before prom, which kind of annoyed me because there was no big argument about going. Like, they were all like, yeah, let's go find Margot. Like, I don't know, it just, I didn't like that. And I didn't like that, like, because I liked it better that they all ditched graduation and, like, decided to go off to go find Margot and stuff, like, last minute. And, like, I didn't like that they didn't do it that way. And, like, I don't know. It wasn't. And then I also didn't like, because the whole fact with the time thing, like, they were like, oh, we have this time, so we have to get back in time for prom, like, whatever. But, like, in the book, the whole thing is that they're rushing to get there because they saw on the website, Margot posted that she was going to be there until the 31st, or whatever, and, like, at this time, and, Quentin thought she was gonna, like, kill herself, so he's, like, in this rush to get to her before she, like, dies or leaves or something, and they just took that out of the movie, and I feel like it just kind of, like, took away from the story a little bit, and I don't know, I didn't like that. I also didn't like that they didn't find her in the barn in the movie. Like, she was supposed to be in that barn, like, they went in there and she wasn't even there, and then his friends ditch him. Like, in the movie, they just leave him in New York. Like, what kind of friends is that? You're just gonna leave your friend in New York? Like, seriously? They didn't do that in the book. Jerks. And, like, I don't know, then he, like, finds her outside of a coffee shop or something, and then they talk, and there's no big arguments or anything, and I don't know. And then, like, this is probably just, like, a stupid little fact, but, like, I didn't like that he didn't get a car for his birthday in the movie. And he just kind of took his mom's van and drove to New York like, hey mom, I stole your car, good luck getting to work, later, whatever. And like, she's just cool with it. Like, that just doesn't make sense. But, I don't know. Aside from that, the movie was good. Like, it began well, but then, and they also cut out the SeaWorld part. Like, I feel like maybe that wasn't important, but didn't he like kiss her in the SeaWorld part in the book, or am I crazy? I don't know. They either need a production company that specializes in book to film adaptations so they do it correctly, or they need a book slapper. So basically, just hire a book slapper. So when the director is all like, that's a good idea, I like the way you wrote that, but what about this? Then the book slapper just needs to thonk them with the book and be like, nah, it's written this way, do it this way. That's gonna be my job. If I ever do become a director, I am just gonna make book to film adaptations, and they are gonna be on point, and they're not gonna change things. I don't understand why they have to change something as small as the name or something. It's just, it makes no sense. Like, it would be so hard to keep the same name. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. Unless there's copyright issues, then I don't know, whatever. But just, it makes me sad, because this book was great, and the movie was good too, don't get me wrong, I like the movie. I feel like if I didn't read the book, I would have liked the movie more. But the book is always better than the movie. Don't judge a book by its movie. Yeah. But, I totally forgot. Okay, so let's just take a moment to talk about Ansel Elgort's cameo in Papertowns. Like, that was hilarious, okay? She just, like, buying the stuff at the gas station, he's just standing there like, hey, screen time. Like, that was just there for all the fangirls, let's be honest. That was just great. It was great. And, dude, Nat Wolff was actually, he was so good in that movie. Like, he's actually a really good actor. Like, I remember him from the Naked Brother Band days, and I was just like, oh god. Like, but he looks a lot different, and he was really good in that movie. Like, he was like, it was great. It was great. And, like, I wasn't sure about, the one girl playing Margot. I wasn't too sure about her, because I'm like, but, you know, she did a good job, too. And, I don't know, the actors were really good. I didn't really picture Ben the way he was. Like, he looked like a 7th grader. Like, I don't even know. Like, he just looked way too young. And then, but yeah, a lot of things were different in the movie, but overall I think it was good. It was worth seeing. But of course, if you're comparing it to the book, it's just going to be terrible, but that's just how the way life works, because some people want to watch the world burn. But, yeah. So, that was basically just me babbling about the book and film and my thoughts and everything. So, let's start some discussion down below, guys. I want to talk about this book and movie. Tell me your thoughts. What did you think about it? And I'll get back to you. But that has been all for this video. So, I will see you guys next time. Bye.